Well, joining us live now is Jude Omeje, Editor, Security Digest. Thank you for joining us on TVC News at 10. Well, it's been 1 year since the terror attack on the Abuja Kaduna train. Has anything changed?
Say it again.
I mean, it's been 1 year since that unfortunate incident. Would you say anything has changed since then?
Oh, okay, fine. I mean, by the way, thanks for having me. Yes, a lot have changed. First thing that have changed is the fact that we have, we are now more conscious about the fact that our, our rail train services ought to be, that security ought to be mainstreamed into our train services. And I think that by now, I presume that, probably some level of technology have been infused in our train services. We have also we have learned also that we can't be complacent again in all of this, some of these facilities we put in place. Because if you are going to build infrastructures, you have to factor in, emerging security threats. And that have been, this particular sad incident had actually given us that particular, on this level of consciousness, understanding that things, these are no longer innocent days we had. We must all be up and doing, must be on our toes to make sure that, that kind of incident never happen again. But don't forget that after that Kaduna incident, there was another infraction somewhere in Delta State. But it wasn't as terrible as Kaduna own. But it just goes to show that a lot have to be done in our rail services, our train services, and we should expect more challenges, really, as a matter of fact, because as you're planning, so are the adversaries planning. So, but we must be on top of the game. We must make sure that we get things right.
Indeed, a lot has to be done. And just as the families of the victims are calling for improved security, but then it does seem that efforts to secure the trains has been neither here nor there. What do you think could be the reason?
What is the reason, if not for government, lethargy? We don't always act until it is too late. But I had expected that the Kaduna incident would have, jolted us into action. I want to believe right now that there must be a level of technology in our training services now. Otherwise, it will be shame on us if, God forbid, we experience a similar incident again. But I want to believe, even if they've not announced it, because I don't really expect them to announce whatever, security improvement they have put in place. But I want to believe that if they want to resume train services, that there has to be a level of security. It could be technology driven, it could be whatever, security mechanism. But the important thing that something has to be done. If they have not done anything, then I don't know what else to say. But we have experienced a very terrible situation that last year. So one would expect that before they reopen our train services, that a level of security should have been in place. That's what I think.
All right. And as you have alluded to, after that particular incident, there have been other incidents that would either involve trains or happen near train stations. What do you think the country is leaving undone that is making us see this recur?
You see, the train services cannot be in isolation from the rest of our society. We don't forget that this country is besetted, by a multiplicity of security challenges, emerging contemporary security challenges. In the northeast, where we have terrorism; the northwest, where we have banditry; southeast, where we have, all manner of agitations, violent agitations, and of course across the country, south, where you have attacks on our maritime assets. So there are actually, Nigeria is quote unquote like a huge crime scene. So the train services, you should respect that such it's like a soft target for those people. It's easy for them to probably wallow the train. But I should expect that having, witnessed what we witnessed last year in Kaduna, that there has to be a conscientious effort to put a level of security in place to ensure that even if there were going to be infraction, it will not be as grievous as what happened in Kaduna. That at least, even if it happens, that we should be able to get on top of the situation as soon as possible. So I do not want to look down on the effort of government. No, neither do I want to look down on the effort of our gallant, security office personnel. They are trying their best, given the situation they find themselves. But we have to do more. We can't sit back, because as you are planning, so are the adversaries planning. As you are thinking, so they are thinking. So you have to outsmart them, because like somebody just said in the situation there, that you cannot have two governments in the country. We have a government, no state actors can
in a nutshell, there is more to be done, Mr. Omeje, and everyone has to play a part. Thank you so much for talking to us, Jude Omeje,
Absolutely.
Editor, Security Digest. Thanks again.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate the opportunity.